All right. This is You Can't Make This Shit Up. Joel Hawksley, David Washington at the Oxford Secret Society Sports Pub. Yes, I turned
You
that
put it
around.
around, but that's fine.
I flipped the script on you.
Yeah, but the Secret Society is the best part of this
It
place.
is. It is. I like to stick with just the secret society because the number of politicals that come through here and the food, there's no secret about the food. The food is good. But hey, it's Content Creation Thursday, and we're creating content for you all. And Joel?
So, David, you've had a strong, busy week this week. I know that.
Yes.
I've had a lot of ratings. No. Listen, we are working so hard for our community.
Yeah.
It is incredible what we're trying to do. It's sometimes just overwhelming. It feels like you're just not getting ahead. And there are days that it's just, you want to step back and say, what the hell am I doing? But there's people like you out there that make this possible. And if you have a business or you have something that you want promoted, if you have anything, you should be involved in the political salsa. You should be involved in the Influence Club. You should be involved in bringing America together again. These are just a few of the things that are going to help your business, help you get your name out there. And, if you really want a company that you can trust and you want to get the word out, you have Door-to-Door I-4. They are credible. They've been used by both Republicans and Democrats and private business to make sure that you get your message out there. So please visit our website at www.j-washington.com. Everything's there. I've even started blogging. I have four brand new blogs. If you don't like them, tell me.
Let us know.
I like the feedback.
Yes, give us feedback, please.
Good or bad. So I don't know where to start, David. I don't usually like to complain,
Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
So Walter Reed has had an organization that has been servicing them, and I just wish I had it in my face right this second. But so they had an archdiocese that comes out there and takes care of the soldiers out at Walter Reed. Now, Walter Reed is the Army hospital that has been established, a long established history. And if the President of the United States were to go down, Walter Reed or Bethesda will be the first two places that they would try to get the president to.
Correct.
So if you've ever been to Walter Reed is really a lot of people learning. It's a teaching hospital, but there's a lot of residents there, and everybody has these different faiths. And as you know, this is Ramadan. This is Passover. This is the holiest week. We've just gone through the holiest week in almost every religion.
Correct.
So what would you say if our fine president of the United States were to give a cease and desist order to the Catholic diocese that is actually servicing the men and women in Walter Reed and give the contract to a secular, I don't even want to say secular, but a for-profit institution that can't even hire a priest, can't even bring a priest in to the hospital. So they had one priest because it's an active duty military priest to take care of the entire Walter Reed staff and residents. So you're basically saying, okay, you have one priest that can go give communion to every single person in the entire hospital, and then you have to do confession before you go to you have to do confession before you go to do communion. So there are three religions I'd like to focus on because they're very bound to their traditions, and that's the Catholic Church, the Muslim temple, and the mosque, excuse me, and the Jewish temples. Right? Those are three religions that, if you're taking care of those three religions, every other religion kind of comes into place. So why just before, actually, on Thursday, Monday, Thursday, that's when they gave them the cease and desist order. Government contract.
Okay, let me see if I have this correct. And I'm sorry, I'm a little distracted because there's a viewer out there who wants to see us.
Yeah, that's fine.
And maybe comment. I'm trying to direct them to the webpage. So traditionally, for the last 2 decades, the Walter Reed has contracted out to Army chaplain.
No, the Army chaplain the Army chaplains are active duty. They're
Okay.
soldiers, so that's why you still had a priest at the hospital.
Okay.
But what you're talking about is these are monks. These are, young priests that are, in a. Let me get the exact wording while you talk about. But just the fact that a for-profit outfit comes in and takes out this Catholic monastery is what I'm trying to think of.
Who's been providing
Who's
for
been
the
providing
last
for
two
20
decades.
20 years. Yeah, so a whole score.
Was there a security concern?
Didn't say that. It looks like from what they were saying is that they gave a cease and desist order to the Catholics, and in stepped a new contractor. So let me just pull it up because this is Rubio, this is Waltz, this is Mills. They sent a letter to the President of the United States to demand an answer to this, because especially you basically took Catholics and gave them no resources during Holy Week.
So the timing was really poor.
That's definitely the worst. That's the worst part.
That was really poor. So there were no pastoral services available.
Well, there were. Okay. I don't want you to think that there was no pastoral.
Okay.
Because as long as there's an active duty priest.
Correct.
There is at least a priest. There is somebody who could have. So basically you can say there was somebody.
Right.
But there was not enough to service the amount of people that would be in that facility, because you have to do confessions. You have to take confessions. You have to then go through and you need to then give communion. So that one priest would have had to do the entire staff and residents at the hospital.
And this is the new company that provided that one staff person, or the staff?
No, the Army provides that person.
Okay.
I don't know what the staff is providing.
Okay.
Because they can't give you a priest. I mean, they could probably give you a Christian, services, but they're not giving you Catholic services.
Right.
So I don't get what they're doing. But to take a faith as big and strong as the Catholic faith and basically say you have one person for Holy Week is ridiculous.
That's and how large is the staff at Walter Reed and the residents? How many people are we talking about?
Well, have you ever been to Advent Health when it's full?
The one,
The one near us at downtown.
yeah,
Okay, so there you go. So
that's
and
very
Bethesda,
big.
but Bethesda's a little bigger,
Okay,
but they're the Navy.
right.
We have the Army over there, so and the Air Force use Walter Reed,
So this decision was affecting
that facility.
that facility only. And I understand that folks like Senator Rubio, Representative Waltz, are up in arms about this and are asking for impeachment.
No, I'm asking for impeachment.
Oh, you're asking for impeachment.
That was my comment. Don't I know that Mills is asking for impeachment?
Okay, right.
So, but that's
right,
for a different
Congressman
reason.
Mills.
So,
Okay.
so let me go into this. So
Okay.
the actual details, because it's Rubio and colleagues blast Biden administration for leaving Catholic service members and veterans with insufficient pastoral care
Okay.
at Walter Reed. So Walter Reed National Military Medical Center issued a cease and desist order to wholly named College Friary, which has provided pastoral care to the service members and the veterans of Walter Reed for nearly 2 decades. The Franciscans received a cease and desist order during Holy Week at sacred and solemn time of the Catholic worldwide. So the list is Marco Rubio. There's Marshall, Langford, Moran, along with representatives Lamborn, Waltz, Mills, Gallagher, Banks, Miller Meeks, and Carlos Gimenez.
Jimenez?
I love to say that name. It's really hard, but I love to say that name.
Jimenez?
So the Department of Defense, Lloyd Austin inquiring why the contract was then awarded to a secular contractor which cannot fulfill the statement of work.
Mm.
So depriving service members of the veterans and who receive care there. So the full text of the letter is available, but it's like, dear Secretary Austin, we write in regards to the U.S. We write to the U.S. Department of Defense awarding a contract for Catholic pastoral care to a for-profit entity that cannot provide Catholic priests.
That doesn't make sense. And I can understand you being very what's the word I'm looking for?
Well, I'm frustrated.
Frustrated, yes, and the veteran, and also very true to your faith. I can understand, especially during Holy Week, the lack of services for veterans.
But David,
Pastoral
you
services.
you and I, we're Christians. We're not Catholic. I believe you know the Catholic faith pretty well, though. You
grew up in a Catholic
grew up
church.
in a Catholic church. It's not like, for me, I can go to any Christian pastor, anyone that wears a cross. I'm fine. But when you're Catholic, you need the services of priests, and the friary would have been able to provide priests right throughout the hospital. And we're talking a large hospital. One priest for every floor is better than one for an entire hospital.
Sure. And the response from Secretary Austin?
Nothing yet.
Nothing yet.
Yeah, the cease and desist order came on Monday, Thursday. That's why they reacted, and I got it in a tweet because I absolutely follow all of our politicians in the state, and especially Mills. And I was happy to see that Mills and Waltz put their name on this, because this was absolutely appalling. For me, I say, if the answer is good, it can't be good, because you can't make this shit up. You Monday, Thursday, you kick the Catholics out of Walter Reed. Basically, you kicked all their services. You sent them packing, and they had
friary.
Yeah. I'm being dramatic, but yeah, you kicked the Catholic services out. You brought in secular. They can't even bring in a priest.
Mhm.
What are they going to do? They can't really do communion.
Mhm.
They can't really do, confession.
Was
Why have they been hired in the first place to do this service?
was the friary was this offered for free?
I'm assuming they were doing this
Right.
for like free, and now we have a contractor that's getting paid for something that.
And we don't know if there's any issue with security or anything like that that may have made the Department of Defense
Yeah,
change.
I would kick out every religious person if it came to security.
Well, I can see a security concern.
Yeah, I mean, but you can vet them.
Okay.
I mean, that's really simple. I mean, we do it all the time.
Okay.
You have a problem, they had to have been getting, registering, coming in. There's a certain protocol when you go in.
Do we know of any complaints that were made in regards to the
Nope.
friary?
I couldn't find anything. I mean, I've been looking through everything. I just wanted to bring it up because you can't make this shit up. I'm sitting here reading this article going, wait a minute.
Mhm.
This makes absolutely no sense.
Right.
And until Austin tells us what happened, we're going to be in the dark. But from the withdrawal from the withdrawal out of Afghanistan to being at the brink of war with China now because of Taiwan.
Mhm.
I mean, oh sure, let's bring the Taiwanese leader over here when we absolutely and send Pelosi over there
Think
when we
Speaker McCarthy?
No, it wasn't McCarthy. Nancy Pelosi went over there.
No,
Nancy
wasn't it-
Pelosi
right,
went
I know
there,
that,
and then
but-
she came. The leader came to see Biden. So since Biden's
okay.
since Biden's at the White House, I think that's who she visited.
Okay.
And now,
But didn't Speaker McCarthy or someone or
Pelosi.
someone no recently, like this past week?
Pelosi went up.
Yeah, that was a while ago.
Yeah,
I mean, she's no longer in Congress.
She
But
is in
wasn't-
Congress. She's a congresswoman.
She's still in Congress?
Mhm, she's still in Congress. She hasn't resigned. She just
Oh, I thought she didn't
You
run
thought-
again.
no,
I thought she was
she
done.
ran again. She won.
What?
Yeah.
Her and Diane should
Hey, Diane Feinstein, man.
move on.
I,
I mean,
I thought
Come
I
on.
thought Barbara Boxer would outlast.
me too. What happened? I like Barbara Boxer. What happened to Senator Boxer?
I don't know. She got out of there. Oh, she's replaced by some. I don't even know who the other one is.
This is the gentleman from L.A., right?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of his name.
The Attorney General.
Yeah.
Right.
I guess it's like you have those certain people that you absolutely know, like,
Yeah, but I thought recently that either Speaker McCarthy or another high-ranking Republican either visited or had the Taiwanese president come.
That would be fun. Listen, whatever we're doing, Democrats seem to have this really, hey, we don't want war. Hey, we don't want war. Hey, we don't want war. But every time there's a Democrat in office, there's violence. Like now we have Ukraine, so we're fighting this proxy war with Russia, and now we have the Democrats going to Taiwan and inviting Taiwan here, knowing that the Chinese.
More importantly, they had their butts in Africa, where China has an incredible influence in Africa and making agreements up and down the continent for their resources, for infrastructure. That's where we should have been maybe 30 years ago.
Well, you got China and you got Russia now. They're butt up against each other, and one's at war and the other's saying, hey, we'll support you because who are they targeting? Who's the only person, if Russia and China are getting together, who is their arch enemy? If
that would be the United States.
So you got Japan out there. How's it going to be defended? Like, we're out there, but what are we going to do? Like,
protect the dollar. That's what we better do. Protect the dollar.
Well, that's what it's all about.
And if we're going to be the police of the world, then that's something that America is going to have to get used to and understand and suffer the consequences for that.
Well, that's what Okay, here we go. We get back to where we started it again because the freaking UN, right? Power equal amongst all of our countries. Yet, who puts more money into it than anybody else? You know,
by
Donald Trump,
choice.
like Donald
By
Trump.
choice.
No, it's not by choice. Donald Trump went and told everybody, these other countries, they had to start paying their own, and all of a sudden they get a little bent out of shape. So now
So
you've
they
got
go to China, they go to Russia, and
so
they cut deals with China and
so
Russia.
now you've got Germany putting more money into the UN, but the UN is that organization that is supposed to be the watchdog and the oversight for these things. It's not supposed to be United States.
But we embrace that role. And with that,
With
we've
that, with the
decided to put resources and into policing the world. And there's pushback about that, but there's no going back. If
uh,
we're going to maintain the standard, or the influence over other countries, we're going to have to continue to be the police of the world.
so, but where are we strong right now? Under this administration, where are we strong? Europe. Europe would love to take over the monetary uh, system, and knowing that Russia and China are now competing to make sure that they can have. Are you ready to start using rubles to actually settle where your dollar is going to be?
No, no. I mean, we have to qualify the statement strong. As far as influence, we're still strong across the globe. However, I believe our standing in the world has lessened a little bit. And China and Russia, and some countries in the Mid East and in Southeast Asia, South America are making strides and challenging the U.S. where it really matters, and that's our monetary policy.
Well, we are. The dollar is the standard around the world.
Mhm.
That was decided uh, in actually in New Hampshire in this in a hotel. If you know the history, with the World Bank, and you look at this and you go, so they chose us at that time because we were strong. We had the the gusto, maybe I don't know the term, but they put their faith and trust in the dollar,
Mhm.
and we should have been protecting that. We should be strong. We shouldn't be involved in everything.
Mhm.
So I was doing this conversation that we're in now, which is really the whole point, is our standing in the world.
Mhm.
I totally agree with. So our standing in the world has softened because we ended up doing too much, too fast, and we get involved too quickly in a lot of things. I I then started looking at I told you about this morning, right? The battle.
Mhm.
There's 189 battle streamers. I had Chat GPT like kick me out because
Too
I
many inquiries on
so
Chat GPT.
I asked it to give me a list of the banners, and it gives me the list of the wars.
Right, right.
I'm going, that's not what I want. So I said to break it down, I would ask each one Revolutionary War, da,
Mhm.
da, da, da. So I get down. Now I have all 189, and then I said, so tell me about Lexington. Tell me about Concord. Tell me about. So it gives me a little synopsis on each one. I got to no, I got through the Civil War, and then all of a sudden it said, "Man, you've asked too many questions." But every one of those battles was not a win.
Right.
I mean, Little Bighorn's on there.
Mhm.
It is literally on there, and that was not a win. New York is on there. That was not a win.
Mhm.
Bunker Hill is on there. That was not a win.
Mhm.
You start thinking, we're a country that actually prides ourselves on, you know, getting better over the years. I mean, but we're still fighting wars that we shouldn't.
Right.
I mean, I can go through all the
Uh,
like Operation Desert Storm, which turned into Desert Shield,
yeah.
which killed 9 Americans. Now, if that all wars were like that, that would be different. But
Right.
to kick out, but even then, let's get back to the original thing. Even then, they make sure that you have a way to have worship while you're over in. You're not even supposed to be have a Bible in Saudi Arabia, yet our country protected our right to
Correct.
have it. So that's why I get very frustrated to figure out why would anybody have done this, and what is the end goal of the Department of Defense. So
That's up to Secretary Austin. You know?
I hope he gets. I told Corey Mills, add this one to the impeachment that he already has, because this is crazy stuff. But you can't make it up. Why Walter Reed, not Bethesda? Boom, boom.
We'll find out. We'll find out how the Department Secretary of Defense answers.
Yeah. So I'm gonna reach out to Marco Rubio's office. I'm gonna reach out to Corey Mills's Representative Corey Mills's office, and I'm going to see if I can make sure that I have the follow up, because this is a story that just dies, on the vine.
Right.
You go up, the response, you never know what the response is.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see if he does respond.
All right.
So we can't make this shit up. Make sure you're involved.
Indeed.
Like, share.
Hit that notification button. Hey, every week we are putting out some content. We'll love to know what you want to hear, what you want to know about, who you want to see or hear in your community. Talk about the issues that you care about, that matter to you. So please let us know, comment, reach out to us, our website, our socials. You can't make this shit up.
Send us your can't make this shit up.